Who better than Derek, Pat, Andrew, the wrestling crew? Man, they bout to put an end to y'all careers like a finishing move. They bout to give y'all facts on these cats that's fighting on these mats. Y'all can't see them like John Cena. Even if y'all had 20/20 vision, y'all better listen, pay attention, and take notes down, and realize that it's not your time now. And watch these three kings take the crown. Hey, hey.
What's up, guys? This is the Rogue, Brandon Kirk, and you're listening to the Wrestling IQ 101 podcast.
Everyone, welcome back to another edition of Wrestling IQ 101. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at WrestlingIQ101.com. And today, I'm sitting with Pat and Derek.
What's up?
What's up, guys?
And we're joined today with the resident cheerleader and concrete rose, Sonny Kiss. How's it going, bro?
Good, how are you? Hello.
How's it going? How's everything?
Chilling. July 7th. It's Tuesday, right? Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's Tuesday for sure. So, Sonny, can you kind of tell us, and our listeners, how you got started with wrestling, and like when did you decide that you wanted to be a wrestler and you were going to take this seriously?
Well, okay, so it was one day I was like probably like 16 or 17, and I was kind of like playing around like with my friends, and like one of my like friends said, oh my gosh, you have a lot of potential, you should go and train, and he like took me to ECW, which is in Lake Hiawatha, New Jersey. Gina Caruso is a trainer, and he took me there for like a series of weeks, and this was like 2012. I was still in high school, so it was like probably like senior year, yeah. And so I would train for a few weeks, and it was cool, whatever. But I kind of stopped for a while. Well, I'm just going to my first show when I was 17. I did as a manager, and I managed Dan Styles, and that was kind of cool because I got to like get a taste of the business kind of early. But it was like 2013 where I really got serious about it, and I just kind of just like fought with myself, and with my comfortability, like just seeing like how like the crowd would react to me, and how comfortable I would get. So I kind of just went for it, and I just was like, I'm gonna try this. I just wasn't sure at first, but then finally in 2013 I was like, I'm gonna try this and I'm gonna go for it, and I'm not gonna look back, and the rest is history.
Nice. So you became the Tier 1 champ, but I wanted to talk about that Tier 1 championship because before you was Rude Boy Riley, and then after you was Darius Carter, so Rude Boy obviously had this whole controversial thing, and then Darius Carter has defended it like 17 times in a row now. It's like crazy reign. So
don't forget about the inaugural champion.
Yes, exactly. So just this Tier 1 championship has just had a crazy stretch. So I just want you to talk about that a little bit.
Everyone who's called it has just been I'm not saying my own part by saying that, but everyone who's held it really lives up to standards. They were all really good wrestlers, and they all were really good fits for it. For me to hold it on my birthday was kind of cool. For only like a few seconds. So I'm probably gonna have the shortest reign ever. The company like makes it like huge. So, but it was still like it was bittersweet. Only because I thought, well, it was cool because it was on my birthday and I got to kind of live that moment for a little bit. And I had like little girls and like my little fans crying. I had people in the crowd like really excited that I won and stuff like that. Like that was really cool. So it was like almost my 23rd birthday to just get a championship, because I haven't won a championship since 2015. 2015, I think it was. Yeah. When I won the Fight title, and I beat Advil at 8. And so it was like I had a title for a while, and I was just kind of like, oh, this is cool, ha ha ha. And then Darius Carter comes out, beats me, and however many seconds it was. But the part that I kind of wasn't too bummed about was that it did make for a good story. And it kind of like, even though it kind of puts in that, typical underdog, typical underdog area, but at the same time it makes for a great story because it's like, oh my god, like this total baby face wins, oh my god, and it's just like it gets taken away from her real fast. And I don't know, I just the story playing out, and I thought it was great. I thought it was a great idea. I wasn't too bummed about it, to be honest. I'm kind of just being cool with it. And
You in action at SWF against Kid Christian. Can you talk about that kind of match and how that came about?
Kid Christian is so young, but he has a lot of potential. It was fun. It was kind of like I got to be the veteran in the situation for the first time, so I'm not usually the veteran. So in that match, I got to be that, and I got to kind of like show him like that he doesn't have to do certain things or move so fast to get a good reaction from the crowd, and that was kind of cool.
And when you started in wrestling at East Coast Pro Wrestling, can you kind of tell us about the things that you learned?
For even giving me an opportunity to showcase my talent, and then eventually showcase my talent being myself rather than a mold of what he perceived or what he thought of me, and that was the cool part. But it wasn't just it was definitely Chris or Crazy Ivan, also my peers, as you said. They've helped me tremendously in this journey. Kenny Tango, Aaron Bradley, Amazing Graces, Mike Orlando, Prince Akhenaten, and Ali Rex. Like, that's my crew. Like, they really, helped me get comfortable with who I was and around people and, feel like I could be myself and not exactly have to tell myself. So, I'm really thankful for them, training with them and stuff like that. And other East Coast Pro Wrestling students as well, and all the wrestlers, there on the roster definitely helped me become more comfortable in the ring. So it was it's a really cool experience. It's like a family there. We definitely grown to become more than just a group of wrestlers. We're definitely more like family. So I'm gonna credit them, all of them, for helping me become who Sonny Kiss is today. So definitely gonna do it.
You mentioned Mike Orlando, and you went up against him in Evolve and Future of Honor. How did these opportunities kind of develop?
Well, Mike and I have been kind of on the journey together for he's been doing a lot longer than me, so he's got a lot more experience than I am. But the last couple of years that I've been in the business, he's definitely been side by side with me, doing a lot of different things, and fighting together and stuff like that. He's one of my favorite opponents to work with. He's just all the way awesome. Road driven, one of the most driven people I know. So yeah, it was awesome to work with him, and just because it's really easy. It's when you have chemistry, it's you can't deny that. And so it's really just easy to work with him, in anywhere, at any time. It's just cool, you Mike Orlando, or you and this person is Mike Orlando, and whoever. And it's just tag matches, whatever it is. It's always just fun to work with him. And we really have a true brotherhood. So that's what makes it real easy. But it's been an awesome journey, just riding with him and the other guys and stuff like that. Yeah.
So you appeared at BBWF and you've been a part of a Battle Royal, and you've also got to face a guy who said terrific things about you, Prince Akhenaten. Can you talk about wrestling him on primetime?
You guys asked if I'd be here for the promotion to work for. Only just because it's such a diverse locker room and it's a bunch of different guys there. I love the entire roster. I love Dan. I love Brandy. I love everyone there. It's really, really fun. Just because everyone, everyone's so cool because there's some drama in that locker room. It's one of the most drama-free locker rooms ever that I've ever been in. But yeah, it's just awesome. Prince and I've been friends for a while. It was just so nice to work with him as well because we've been on this journey together as well for a while. So it was just really easy to work with him. It wasn't just a case, honestly, like a night off. I don't know what to say. And he works very simple. He's valid, real old school, and we made that work. And he made me look, fine. And he kind of did what he does, and I did what I do, and that's kind of what it was.
It's funny that you talked about the diversity of BBWF. I mean, that Battle Royal, you had Beefcake Charlie and a whole bunch of Wrestle Pro guys and IWF guys. What are some of your goals in pro wrestling, indie-wise, and maybe past that?
What's some of my goals?
Yeah, in indie wrestling, and then maybe past that if you have any.
Well, my main goal in wrestling here, I think this is everyone goes to get signed to a major promotion. That's like, obviously, like, if that's not your goal in wrestling, I don't know. Then I don't know. Yeah, that's the main goal. I'm definitely going to go there for that. But, like, short-term goals, or just, like, little indie goals, I don't know. I really want to work, like, the best workers that are out there and get better. Yeah, that's really all it. I definitely want to be involved in some more, like, crazy tag-ups, and I definitely want my boys, Mighty Militia and I, to kind of, like, branch out and do more cool stuff, because, I manage them, we team together. That's also a thing that I kind of want to happen more, in the coming months and stuff like that. And when we do have opportunities on that's going to be cool. But, yeah, no, as far as, like, little, like, goal, I just want to travel more with my boys, with my friends, and my DJ crew, and just have fun and work like really awesome, talented guys. I definitely want to start spreading my wings more, and definitely, hopefully, you'll see me in Ring of Honor more soon. Maybe just more extra work, whatever. Yeah, that's really all. Like, just I just want to keep having fun and keep getting better and better and working, more awesome talented guys like Leo Welsh and James Strickland, Destiny Xavier, that whole rockstar roster is just so good. Let me just throw it out there. Maybe some DCW stuff. Yeah, definitely I just want to work for the most amazing promotions and for the best workers. Maybe step out the country a little more too. And some Canada dates coming up too. Yeah, I'm looking at travel to some more countries. Yeah, keep having the ball, that's all.
So, talk about having fun. How would you rate EC3 twerking 1 to 10?
EC3 twerking 1 to 10. This kid, he might listen to this one day. I'm gonna say it to him. He was like, kind of like a 5. Okay, I'm gonna say he was messed up. I love you, Michael.
Yeah, just talk about that segment a little bit that you guys had.
I tell this story all the time, but basically we're at this is my debut. Well, not my debut, but I debuted at Crossroads the year before that. But this is like my first match back. Like, first match that I'm really like kind of diving into the company, and it was definitely a big event because first it was kind of on me out of nowhere. I had no idea what was going on. That was all like, whoa. And the funny part, I wasn't able to go to that show. I was supposed to be in New York, just going to the Battle Royal for ECW, and I was just going to be, that's all I was going to do was just the Battle Royal. And that's cool sometimes too, but I would rather have a match, obviously. So Mike actually gave an opportunity. Short match. There's Azrael. There's All-Star Lou. All-Star Lou was the first champ, and Azrael was the current champ. So I went that triple threat. He was watching from above. I don't know if you've ever been in the A's Arena, but he's watching from like the glass window above. And success my match and stuff like that. And I guess he and his like people, his team that was with him, they kind of like fell in love with me by the way I was, as just my character and just how I was basically wrestling. And so each was impressed with me, and then they were kind of hinting at it at intermission that something was going to happen, but I wasn't reading them, and I wasn't really reading them too well. And I don't like to assume stuff. I kind of was just blowing it all off, like whatever. They were kind of hinting at like, what if this happened or what if this happened? So I kind of just like, I never bluff him, like or whatever. But then he comes up to me after, a little while, and the show is going on, and it's getting towards the main event. It's just him and I think Ricky Reyes. Yeah. And so, basically, they're like, okay, you're going to come out after this match, I'm going to proclaim myself as the next dude champion here, and then you're going to come out, and then you're going to kiss me. At first, I was like, no. Like, legit, no. Do I know why I said no?
Why?
Because in wrestling, people often, like, go right to the stereotypes, and I, didn't want to be put, I definitely didn't want to be in that stereotype. I wanted to fill the void of wrestlers who, gay wrestlers who didn't, do all like the very like flamboyant and extra like over the top spot. I just wanted to be a wrestler who was me. And so, he's like, yeah, come, you're gonna kiss me, and I'm like, like, am I really gonna pass up a chance to kiss you? So I'm like, I'd be crazy with that. But definitely, for my pride, I kind of was like, I'll just follow it, like whatever. Let it go. But I definitely was kind of like, I don't know, like just because I just felt like this was so stereotypical and it was going to demean my character. But I did it, and I'm kind of glad I did it because I got a lot of bookings out of that.
Yeah, that's great. That segment.
It went viral. It was shared probably over 100,000 times.
Yeah.
All over social media, all over different dirt sheets and different websites and Bleacher Report shared it. And it was shared all over. So I was like, okay, like this is not exactly what I want to be like known for. And I was known for that guy that for a hot little minute. And it wasn't what I wanted to be known for at all, because I just felt like that's what gay guys, like, oh no, they're going to assume that it's a gay, okay, great, this is what gay guys do in wrestling, this is what they're here for, they don't have talent, they're just here to be gay in wrestling, and they got to sport what quote unquote stupid. But I after a while, I kind of understood it, and I thought I was like, okay, it's an opportunity to, do something that's going to sound crazy, that's going to get a reaction, which is good, because had I not done it, you probably would have given somebody else, and that would have been their buzz instead of mine. I just sitting around with it and said, hey, fuck it, I'm sorry, can I curse on you?
Yeah.
So yeah, I just sitting around with it, I said, fine, it is what it is, and let people talk, and let's see what they're going to say, and that was that.
Now, when you got started, did you face like any challenges being a gay wrestler? Like any difficulties trying to get into the business, or people taking you seriously?
Yes and no, but more no, because to be honest, like, okay, so it was kind of like the people that were the ones that kind of had problems with me, or was questioning me, or was questioning my abilities. There were people that were so unimportant and so irrelevant. Like, we see even nowadays on Facebook, like, we see drama that happens that's around the other LGBT workers. Like, it's all people that aren't really, like, who even are you, dude? Like, it's those kind of people that always, have the problem. Does it hurt in a way? Yes and no, not really, because it just hurts that I have to go through that. I won't speak for myself, so I'm not going to have to go through, but it just hurts that I have to go through that, and I'd rather not. So at times when these times come up, and you hear, oh my god, there's backlash. Oh my god, Sonny Kiss is doing this. Sonny Kiss is that. You shouldn't be wrestling. You shouldn't be in a ring. Sonny Kiss is this. It becomes like annoying just because like, why does it have to be that hard? And it's just kind of like, why can't it just be simple? I just want to wrestle. I'm just trying to live my dream. Like, why does it have to be anything serious? And it's just the contradictory is what's annoying to me, because it's like they say that me in wrestling is not believable. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, what do you mean by that? So because I'm flamboyant, I can't be tough. So that's where my Concrete Rose character comes from. Concrete Rose means, it basically means like salty and sweet, tough, yet, sensitive and sweet. But, it's a total matchup of the two. It's just something hardcore, kind of strong, but also, delicate, beautiful, and fun. It's kind of like, it's my own little, how do you say it? It's my own version of being a tomboy. It's like, two things that come together to make one. It's two great things that come together. Peanut butter. Peanut butter is more like raw, and then like you kind of have like the jelly that's a little more sweet. You get what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah.
That's where the dress and Concrete Rose comes from. That's where the moniker comes from. So, there's that. But it's really those kind of people like, you know what? I should have named the name. No, I'm not gonna do that.
You know what?
I give them the free promotion. I don't do that. I'm giving them any free promotion. same old a-holes. And the thing about wrestling that's weird, they know. But when I get compliments, when I get comments like "you're beautiful" and "don't ever change" from Rowdy Roddy Piper, a legend, a Hall of Famer, rest in peace. But that to me, that just beats that triumph over every adversity that I've faced in wrestling. This him saying that to me, him holding my hand, him touching me and hugging me and feeling my booty too. But that's that whole that 5 minutes of my life is that I'll take me forever, because here I am getting all this crap from these nobody, but a person who actually is in this business, who actually has a vision for this business because he's been in it for years, a legend. Why the hell does anyone's opinion matter? So that's kind of where I stand at that. And that's actually the happiest one of my life, by the way. Yeah, probably my top 5 happiest moments of my life.
Nice. Awesome.
But yeah, it doesn't really faze me. So hardships, man, I guess it's annoying, but it'll pass after a day or two, if that. So they can say nothing, and whatever they can't stop me. So that's what it is.
So what was your reaction when this certain individual, I won't even say his name, you alluded to it earlier. Yeah. What was your reaction when he said these comments, or even when everyone else gave their overwhelming support, everyone in the industry backed you and gave you their overwhelming, what was your support to that? How'd that make you feel?
That makes me feel amazing, that part. Because I really love, even if, here's my thing, I don't think everyone should agree with or be on my side just because they do it right. If you agree with that, man, I understand. But tolerance, here's the thing, there's a difference between tolerance and just kind of being on that side and shooting for the positive side just because it's there. I don't want you to just agree and change up your whole lifestyle just because I think that you should. No. By all means, if you feel two men shouldn't get married, I don't care. That's your business. Cool. Disrespect me as I respect your opinion. You know what I mean? And that's the problem with this world, is that people feel they're going to push their opinion on someone else, which makes other people fight back, and then people feel like they're pushing their opinions on them when they're not. But I don't care if someone's homophobic. I just want tolerance and respect. Period. Respect me, I respect you. Some people didn't really affect me. It was just more so I was more happy with seeing the positivity. And that thing really made me smile. And I was more happy about all that kind of stuff rather than the actual negative comments. Because that man, his credentials as just being a wrestling fan, he's a mark. That's all he is. And so, for him to even have some sort of stage zone in my career, when that man has never done a bump a day in his damn life, yeah, right. So, whatever. He's a nobody. Just some loser. Probably stabbing to my pictures or something like that. So, he's nobody, and I'm not a thief. Next.
So, Sonny.
I definitely want to thank all the guys for their overwhelming support, all the guys and girls for their overwhelming support, from the very beginning to now, always having my back, and I definitely don't let that go unnoticed or unappreciated. So, yes, definitely thanks and big ups to everyone who, came in my defense, regardless of whether they agree with it or not, because, like I said, you don't have to agree with my sexuality or agree with my choices, but as long as you respect it, I'll respect you. And that's how it should be.
Yeah.
You have every right to feel what you feel. I don't want everybody to be, oh my God, yeah, that's the right thing just because society says so. No. But you also have to, show tolerance. You have to be respectful. I'm not telling you, oh my God, don't believe that. Just respect me and I'll respect you. That's what it is.
So, Sonny, you you have such a unique character and persona about you. How do you separate the character between the human being, like when you're not wrestling?
You know something? Okay, so I'll shoot with you guys. My name is Hassan, and Hassan and Sonny are two different people. Well, they're the same person, but they're also slightly different. While Sonny is very bubbly and quirky and fun and like flirty, well, I'm kind of flirty too, but like, okay, so Sonny is just a little bit more of everything that Hassan is. So yeah, I'll just put it like that. I don't really separate them at all because I don't really need to. Everything Sonny is, Hassan either was or is. So that means like, you know, being a pro wrestling resident cheerleader. I was a pro cheerleader. I was an all-star cheerleader. Being a dancer in the ring and the just the one thing that Hassan doesn't really do is twerk as much as Sonny does. Sonny kind of twerks. Hassan doesn't kind of just but Sonny's definitely a little bit more, I would say a little more hyped up than Hassan is. I think it's kind of like how you have to be as a character. Just turn up just a little bit. Because in the wrestling world, where everything is either like middle ground, you have to have something that pops out. Otherwise, people won't really get behind you. I think you have like a lot of these like generic guys who are so good, but they're not getting older. I think that's just because you know, there's something that needs to pop out. that's not a diss or anything. It's just, you know, that's just how it is. That's what I was told. I mean, I'm not saying it's, you know, my own thing. I just think it's like people gravitate towards something that they can remember. If they see you as themselves, you know, as yourself, and you're just kind of like this generic kind of guy. Like, everyone's generic. Like, it's like when you see a stranger in the street and they're just generically dressed and they're doing whatever. Attention was more like, hey, hello. But you keep going with an extravagant costume or whatever that is. It's like, oh, hi. Oh my god, look at that guy. You know what I mean? Like a naked cowboy, everybody knows him as a naked cowboy. Look at him. Like, he's a character himself. Yeah. But I just basically turned up a little bit so people can relate to me, and they basically can gravitate towards that personality even more. But as far as like differentiating them two, I don't really need to because they're both just really who I am.
Nice. Yeah, when we were talking to Brandon Kirk, that's one thing he actually told us about you. Is like, you know, if you see Sonny, you might think, oh, this is, you know, his character, and this is, you know, he's playing someone, but this is actually how he really is.
Yeah, he hit it right on now. Yeah.
Yeah, and kind of just to go back to, you know, what we were talking about previously as well. When you said, you know, that, you know, we can respect everyone's, you know, opinion. I definitely think that's true, and I think with you specifically, when it comes to wrestling, I think no one can say anything bad about you when it comes to wrestling because you're just like that good. So you can have whatever opinion you want on the outside, but when we start talking about wrestling, like there's nothing you can say about Sonny Kiss.
The positive things.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
But the funny part is, that's what kind of happens though usually. Because I'll walk out, especially when I was walking out of wrestling in a new place or a new company, I walk out and people are like, no. Like, that always happens. It always happens. Like, what the hell? Like, who is this guy with his booty shirts on and he's walking out here all smiling and stuff, like, acting like some Shivan or some girl. But when they see me wrestle, it's like, ooh, damn. I start wrestling, it's like, oh shoot. Like, this guy's good. So I always, like, I'm kind of used to it now. Like, I always dread that. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm wrestling at a new place, in a new city, or I'm wrestling in a town where it's not so urban, it's more white-collared. I get runners and stuff like that, too. But the funny part is that the places I usually get scared about the most are the places that react the loudest. It's so funny. I think I did, like, a place, like, somewhere in, like, central Pennsylvania, and they were, like, because, you know, let's be honest, like, the people there kind of mean, and they're kind of not actually, how do I say this without being rude? They're a little, on the other side. They're a little more on the Republican side. That's nothing at all.
Traditional.
They're not as liberal as New Yorkers, stuff like that, like New Jersey and stuff like that,
Yeah.
But those are places that kind of react the loudest for me, because I guess because I'm so different, exotic, or, people, I'm just different to them. I don't know, but that definitely always happens where it's like, it's so quiet first, for most places. Because they're kind of like that. They're not respect for me. They're kind of like, what? Like, what's going on? Like, who is this? But I definitely make sure that when I start wrestling, it's like, look exciting.
You know what's interesting is a lot of the guys that come on, they have a background in football or baseball or whatever, and a lot of them say that it doesn't really help them in the ring. But with you, I feel like your cheerleading background, it does help you. Like, you could see it in your moveset and things like that. Like, do you feel like it gives you an advantage?
Absolutely. I actually did more dancing and cheerleading until later. I did more dancing, and I did more, tumbling, and I did more, stretch classes. And I'm also, a certified yoga instructor. And so I did a lot of, athletics and stuff like that. A lot of flexibility, stretch classes and stuff like that, jazz classes. I feel like, my dance classes definitely helped me more than anything. Because when I first started wrestling, the athletic part came easy. So, the rolls and the flip bumps and all that stuff. Well, that stuff came real easy. My biggest thing, it was psychology, and learning that definitely took a little bit longer. So I'm glad I at least had the basics down before that probably would have been a little bit slow with learning. But, it definitely helped me a lot, because it basically gave me a default kind of moveset. But if you notice, I don't use a lot of moves that are too crazy or intricate. Like, I don't wrestle like a Desmond Xavier or a Leo Rush, and those are incredible wrestlers. And they're probably self-taught gymnasts, probably. But no, for me, I use flashy wrestlers that a lot of women's wrestlers do. If you would see an Alita match or Kelly match or something like that. But my moves are real simple, but they're still kind of flashy and fun. But that, it comes from my cheer background and stuff like that. There's probably you see a little Melina in my wrestling, But, it comes from my cheer background and being flexible. It's abnormal for a guy, but that's what kind of makes it cool, I feel.
Yeah,
that's kind of why it comes off different, because it's coming from a guy. So, I think that's really what it is.
So, touchback, you wrestled Mike Orlando, but then also you had a triple threat with him and Steve Scott, who's a character in himself. How is it wrestling somebody like a character like that, where he's all about the selfies and the ego, and then and the contrast of Mike Orlando, who's just the green machine?
I feel like with Mike, there's definitely a little less character with him for me to wrestle him. Versus where I wrestled Steve. These are both two of my favorite guys, and on the indies, by the way. But I wrestled Steve. He was a little more gimmick, which I actually like. I like teaming with Steve better, to be honest. Don't tell him that. But he's definitely better as my tag partner than my opponent. Only because I felt like we do have a genuine connection, especially because we ride together sometimes, and we're very playful with each other. And so it just comes naturally being a team, because we're also very similar. I feel like when you're too similar to someone, it's better to be on the same team. Some people probably would say opposing. On an opposing team would be better, but I think being on the same team would be better. Just because we're so similar, but we're still different. But it's fun. I like them both, and I feel like it's just a different kind of match for both of them. Working with both of them.
And then you also got to wrestle Kenny Bangle, and you said he helped you out in the beginning too. How was it wrestling him?
Kenny Fangle is one of my best friends. I love that band. We travel together everywhere. We really, really have like a genuine like brother connection. There's definitely a lot of parallels in our personalities. But yeah, no, it's really a night off because, and it's so funny because he actually is inspired by Lita and I'm inspired by Trish. So he's basically the Lita to my Trish. So, blonde hair and the kind of reddish orangey hair, that's kind of us, So, but wrestling him is so easy. It's like a night off. We really don't have to talk or plan or do anything. You could throw us in a ring. You could be like, Kenny Bangle, Sonny Kiss, alright, we need you guys to go on right now. And we could put a whole match together in the ring without even calling it. And it'll come out great. That's literally kind of how it is. Like, it's so easy to work with him because we worked together for so long together. We've been working together side by side for almost 4 years. So that's literally a night off, like I said. And he's one of my best friends, so it's always good to, just be on the same show with him, work with him, and promoters, hey, get on that, book him.
Yeah. So now you've faced, a really good list of who's who. Can you tell us, is there anybody you haven't faced yet that you're looking forward to facing?
Everyone is dying for a Leo Rush versus Sonny Kiss match. Like, everyone is dying for that. And I think it'd be really cool. I would think, I think I'll have a really good match with Mike Seidel, because he's a yogi, just like me. He's real flexible, just like me. So, I think that'll be really cool.
Yeah, I think the Leo Rush match would be cool.
Yeah, that'd definitely be cool.
Yeah, that too, definitely. But I definitely think like Mike Seidel and I will be like a kind of like a cool clash up in styles because like we both were real flexible. So, who else? I don't know. There's a lot of people I like to work with. I can't remember right now, but I definitely can go on and on if I like went down the list. There's definitely people I would love to wrestle.
Definitely.
How many squats can you do in 1 minute?
I actually won Retro Fitness's regional competition.
Wow.
October of last year. I did have this as one of the tests, but I forgot how many I did. It could have been like 50 or 60 something. I don't know.
Oh my god! Wow.
Yeah, it could have been like 60 something. I don't know.
Wow. You would put Jen Selter to shame.
That's the funny thing you just threw out there. I would think you would say someone like Kim or Amber. Jen's dope. I love Jen. Jen is dope as hell. I love Brittany Days too. There's a lot of chicks out there who just, body's just popping.
So, who were your favorite wrestlers growing up to watch?
Oh, I love this question. But there are like so many people. Oh my god, it's like I was one of those kids that like I was inspired by so many and by such like I always loved the heels, I always loved the face, I loved everyone. So it was really hard for me to pick a favorite. And when my favorites team with them, they became my favorite. But I was very much inspired by Rob Van Dam. He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. If not the favorite wrestler. Him and Rey Mysterio, Dean Malenko, Jacqueline, Lita, Trish, all like the women of the golden era. Sabu, I love Sabu, just because how risky, how much of a risk taker he was. Jeff Hardy Boy, Extreme. Oh my god, so many people. Eddie Guerrero, so many people. So many.
What about Shawn Michaels?
I love Shawn, heck yeah. Triple H, yeah. I like people for different reasons. The best thing about me, I like, Shawn, and I like Triple H, and Steph, and the whole DX, and basically everyone like from that era that basically told a good story. Austin, oh my god, Rock, that told good stories. I like them for that reason. I like wrestlers for wrestling reasons. I like the entertainers. Like, I kind of like differentiate them because I watch Raw and Van and Mysterio and all those guys, and I watch their moves. I watch the way they carry a match, the way they put stuff together, the way they sell, and I also watch like the way like Shawn Michaels and Triple H and Undertaker and Kurt Angle and Ed, and, all people like that, and just Mick Foley. I watch everyone just to see like for different reasons. Like like those are the storytelling guys I just named, and then you have like the athletic guys, and I definitely could relate to them more, like Rob and Dim and like Jess and stuff like that, and yeah, so the Nitro Girls. I'm inspired by so much.
I like this too.
So, I don't know, it's hard. Yeah, I could not listen to the Nitro Girls. I mean, hello, they were basically dancers, and I used to like watch WCW. I used to like try to learn their dance moves. I got a drinking car with Electro or something like that. But yeah, no, I definitely love just everyone. Manami Toyota, I'm actually watching her a lot. I'm definitely a huge fan of her. She's a Japanese wrestler. I'm sure you guys know who she is. But yeah, she's just so amazing. Love her. Jericho is awesome. I love so many wrestlers, yeah. I never really had a favorite. Like, I'm literally naming, like, a whole roster. Like, with music, too, I'm real passionate about music, so I have so many, like, favorite artists. I can't, like, I change my top 5, top 10 all the time. Because, like, I just listen to a lot of different kind of stuff, and I just watch so much different stuff, and oh my gosh, like, the dudes and the wrestling, oh my gosh. I just love wrestling, so it's really hard to pick a definite favorite, but if I had to choose, like a nice, like, cool table for three, if you will, definitely RBG, Rey Mysterio, and me, definitely. But then, like, no, because if I have to complete the top 5, then it's Trish and Lita. So it's like,
okay.
I'm so annoyed how that.
My favorite is Kelly Kelly.
I love Kelly Kelly. She inspired me too.
She's a hot shebrew.
The Kelly Kelly selling, I embody, like, when I saw her in the ring, I embody her. Like, the way she cries, and she gets the fans riled up, and she's like, like, her fans, like, are so, like, they get so invested, because she looks like she's in pain, and Kelly Kelly does an excellent job of selling. One of my favorite matches, and you guys probably wouldn't even watch this match, you guys probably skipped this match, it's a popcorn bake, probably. But one of my favorite matches was Kelly Kelly versus Beth Phoenix at SummerSlam 2011.
Yeah.
That match was so good because it was so underrated. How many people really watched it and really understood the story? It was perfect because there was like a series of matches that Beth and Kelly were having where Beth was bullying Kelly and beating her up every match, and Kelly was not having it anymore, kicking her ass and. Basically, she went for the glam slam, rolled her up for a big, like, 10, like, and the fans were like, whoa, like, it was a really, really good match. Like, oh my gosh. Like, look at me getting all passionate over here.
Nice. Now we know you can't pick a favorite wrestler, but if you could pick one to have a match with, a fantasy match, it could be man, woman, or even both, who would you choose to fight?
This is terrible. You're going to be like a 10-man tag, right?
James Ellsworth,
okay.
right? Somebody you could beat.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's like James Ellsworth, somebody you can definitely beat,
Right? No, but I probably would, like, it'll probably be something like, I don't know. It's a good one. Like, I definitely want to include, because I changed this up too a lot, too. Just me versus Disney in a singles, I would say. I would just choose Rob Van Dam just because I feel like I can learn a lot from him, obviously, because I watched him all these years, but to wrestle him would be really cool. But I probably would have, like, first and gender tag, and it'll be, like, me, like, RVD and Trish versus Team Extreme, which is, like, probably just, like, obviously, like, totally not, like, gonna happen. So it never will happen. Because, there's obviously circumstance, but yeah, that would be pretty cool.
That would be exciting to watch.
It would be like, yeah, because I was very inspired by like Team A growing up. Tess Albert and Trish, obviously, just because Trish was there. But Tess and Albert was cool too.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, I was definitely like, I just loved like the storylines they would tell, the 6-man tags back then, and shit their tags and stuff. So I probably would have one of those kind of matches.
See, for me, if I had to pick for you, I would pick Goldust from like the Attitude Era against you because I feel like none of his mind games will work on you at all.
Probably not. Yeah. That would be a good match too.
I had AJ Styles.
AJ Styles, oh my gosh, he's one of the best wrestlers in the world.
Yeah.
I feel like you could counteract some of his like Pele kick and phenomenal forearm.
Yeah, I'd probably I want to really like a ton of clinic with him, but I wouldn't be able to breathe probably. But it'll be cool.
So Sonny, you have a couple of shows coming up. Where can people find you?
Well, this Saturday in my hometown,
Nice.
you can find me at Capital Wrestling. This is Saturday, June 3rd, and right here at the Cathedral Hall. And where else can you find me? Next weekend, I think, is Warriors and Tier 1, respectively, both in New York City. And where else am I going to be? Oh, wait, give me one second. I think I can find my calendar right here. Hold on one second. So Capital, Warriors Wrestling, and Tier 1 Wrestling next weekend, okay? Then there's BCW again on June 16th. Yeah, there's a lot of places coming up, so, yeah.
And in August should be at...
you're gonna see me at Lucha Toronto soon, so I'm gonna be in Canada, and, probably, North Carolina somewhere soon, and, there's a lot of stuff coming up, oh my gosh. I'm gonna be hanging out at Battle Club Pro at Wrestler's Laboratory. So, yeah, definitely go there to support and buy a ticket, hang out. It's going to be a really good show. So, yeah.
And then also you'll be at CTW in August?
Oh, yeah, CTW. Yeah, I know I was going to go that far. But, yeah, sure, I forgot that was going to air later on, yeah. CTW in August. I'll also be back at Lucha Toronto in August. Forza Lucha. BCW also, Warriors Wrestling, Dynasty Wrestling, NYWC is coming up. There's a lot.
And if people want to find you on social media...
On-site wrestling too in September. What? SWF. Oh yeah, so a lot of places. C4. Yes.
Nice.
Man, you're all over the place.
Yeah, seriously.
So on social media, where can people find you if they want to try to connect with you?
I am at Sonny Kiss XO. That's SonnyKissXO. You can also find that's for Instagram, Instagram and Twitter. And then for Facebook, you can find me at facebook.com/SonnyKiss1. And I don't have a co-wrestling T-story yet, but I will get it for you guys. Just be patient. So, I've been so roots in my band with my merch for a long time because when I get merch, I sell out really fast. So I don't get merch again for like another 4 months, 5 months because it's expensive. It's so expensive. To get merch and to spend it and get it and spend it, it's expensive.
Yeah,
merch is expensive.
we just started to. It's it's no joke. Yeah.
You get that fuck money.
Oh, these are his money now.
And for us, we're Wrestling IQ 101 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, check out the website, WrestlingIQ101.com. And for us, we're out of here.
We're out.
You have just listened to the Wrestling IQ 101 podcast, powered by B Plus Player Radio.
One more for the good guy.